Here with Francisco. We are in beautiful Istanbul. It's a beautiful sunny day. We're here for the World Business Angel Investment Forum. We've already had a day and a half of incredible meetings and connecting with worldwide investors. Francisco's very kindly agreed to step out and have a chat with me. So do you want to maybe start by just giving a very quick 2-minute background on you, your background and what you're working on now, and then we'll look at opportunities in the future.
My name is Francisco Kgoboko. I'm a citizen of Botswana. I'm an engineer by profession. Here I am a High Commissioner for Botswana for the World Business Angel Investment Forum, and also the outgoing Vice President for the Startup Committee of the Grand Assembly. Mm-hmm. We're here to network with other entrepreneurs around the world and policy makers. And I am traditionally a mining engineer, a chemical engineer, mineral processing and metallurgist from a mining background, but I also have founded a trust that seeks to help young entrepreneurs in the disadvantaged communities in Botswana, specifically my community, to help them realize their potential.
Cool. So what really interests me about you, there's a lot of people here, I mean, it's an angel investing event, so there's a lot of people getting very excited about new technology and that sort of, some of this blue sky thinking and great opportunities. What I like about you is you come from this mineral background, like very real products. You're in a country, in a continent with some of the richest resources on the planet. Now, people watching are investors. They want to know, we're all very excited about Africa. I think that the growth potential ahead of the continent is huge. Botswana is a big part of that. What are some of the trends that you're seeing, and what are some of the trends that an external investor, somebody that hasn't been involved in Botswana before, what should they be looking for? How should they get involved?
Thank you, Liam. Botswana has a great opportunity for investors. I would say currently we just have a new administration. Mm-hmm. We have our 5th president, His Excellency, the President Dr. Mokwetsi Eric Kabezo-Masisi, yep, whose tone has been to leverage on international cooperation. Okay. He's traversed, I think, all the AU, United Nations, the SADC, the SACU, and the entire African continent to lure investors to come and invest in Botswana. But primarily, Botswana has got a very stable government for the past, this is the 12th parliament.
Great, and let me just interject there, because this is something that's come up with a lot of the people that we're talking to. Many of them are running in very fragmented and fast-changing political systems, and it's so difficult to invest and plan in the future if you don't have that stability. So fantastic to see that, and also from the sounds of it, a kind of an inclusive mindset, as opposed to many governments today which are sort of focusing on exclusive.
Absolutely. When you look at the first thing that the new president took, after 55 years, Botswana has been led by one party. It's not a one-party state, it's a multi-party democracy state, but we've had so much economic, political stability mm-hmm. Throughout since 1965, when we gained independence from the British colony. Mm-hmm. And we have been endowed with minerals, mm-hmm. diamonds, copper, but we have a gold, coal, iron ore. Mm-hmm. But what the government has done is to say that the mineral wealth, the fortunes that the government get from the mineral wealth, they use to develop us. Right. I went to a free school, right, sponsored by the government, up to university, where we went overseas, went to the best in the world. Mm. And when we finished, we went back home to work in those industries.
Sure. So absolutely critical, having that infrastructure. Now, from you mentioned that you were up late last night reading my book. So the three areas that I look at are liquidity, and that obviously depends on public markets. The other two are impact and alpha, and getting beyond market returns. Now, you're very close to the ground, quite literally, in terms of your background. Let's look at those returns, and there's, I know that there's kind of easy ways to get involved, which is probably some of those bigger companies that have mines that are well established, that are tradable on there. But for an investor that really wants to outperform the market, they probably need to go a little bit deeper. They probably need to find some of the smaller, faster growth companies. What are some of the companies that you're seeing? What are some of the opportunities that you're seeing?
The opportunities, I think companies, Botswana, there's companies in Botswana that are listed in the London Stock Exchange. There's companies that are listed in the Canadian Stock Exchange. There's Botswana Stock Exchange itself. Okay. There's the South African Stock Exchange. I do believe that any company that is resident in Botswana, be it in mining, be it pharmaceuticals, be it in the digital space, if it's a Botswana-based company, as much as the population is small, but you've got so much stability and your returns, you're guaranteed to reinvest and invest elsewhere, and you're also able to repatriate your capital from Botswana to wherever you want to take it. Right. So you would find that one is currently the digital economy infused with agriculture. There's a great opportunity now where I find even traditional mining investors are now running towards investing in agriculture and infusing with the digital economy. And our current government is also helping so much in terms of both the citizens and investors to try and grow this sector. And I think even in the State of the Nation address, the Minister of Finance economic speech, the budget speech, recently they have emphasized the need for triple P's engagement. They have for projects, even just ordinary projects in Botswana, you could have returns from investing in projects with the government, but also the government has got very flexible legislature that attracts foreign direct investment, and we also have some very attractive tax benefits, where for the first 5 years you get 5%, and after 10 years it's 10% tax for corporate tax. Right. Where they give you access to the land. Our land reforms are very attractive. You can come and build. You'll have security. You have pretty much everything that an investor needs to come to Botswana. Yeah. So when you look at the African continent, I don't think there's any country that would position better than Botswana currently.
Interesting. Okay, very good. So look, I think that's for a lot of people that don't know, that's a great snapshot of what's there. And I think really for an external investor, finding those countries within Africa that do have the track record, that do have the stability is really, really key, especially if you're a little bit nervous about trying that for the first time. The second thing I want to talk about is impact, and you've invested a lot of your time and effort in that space, and one of the things that we keep talking about with impact is it all sounds great, but oftentimes once you drill into it, what is the best impact, and if somebody is there, and remember these are investors, they want their returns, but they want to feel like they're doing good, and entrepreneurship is about solving problems. Entrepreneurial investing is about solving problems and getting returns. What are some of the opportunities that you see that will actually make a real tangible difference on the ground in Botswana to people's lives?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for our economy in Botswana is unemployment.
Okay.
But that unemployment is also coupled with a very high level of literacy. Okay. So you've got a high number of graduates, who are unemployed
Educated and underutilized.
and underutilized.
Correct.
So the first thing that an investor coming into Botswana would benefit from, but also have a huge social impact in, is you come and tap into a knowledge economy where the skill level is so high. When you employ someone and give them meaningful employment, they immediately have a huge difference in their lives where they can benefit directly. You transform their socio-economic status almost instantly, but all the same, you are getting a very high quality skill that otherwise you'd have paid a top dollar anywhere else in the world to have. So there is a win-win situation there.
Yeah, really interesting. And look, I mean, this speaks to my heart. You know, as you know, we're big fans of the potential growth of a small business. You know, if you can take them from 10 million to 20 million, they can't do that without adding another 100 headcount. And it's not just the individual lives, it's their families, it's the community. So it's very tangible, very measurable. So you also mentioned that you work with disadvantaged kids, and what's just quick insight into that? Yeah.
What I also do, coming from a very disadvantaged background myself, I have noticed that education is the only equalizer in life. To be where I am is because of the learning opportunities that I got. And now I give back to the communities from pre-primary school, primary school, senior, secondary school and university level, where I motivate young entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and just learners to say they have to take education seriously now, because in the future they will be able to live and be everywhere and be here with you discussing this, despite the fact of the fact that the background was very difficult. So I then have founded a trust with others to educate disadvantaged communities, give back to those communities in terms of supporting their socio-economic and educational needs, but also infuse in them an entrepreneurial thinking, such that when they grow up thinking, investing, growing the little wealth that I have, versus just buying or spending the money that you have and sometimes you don't have. So I'm looking for where we can have future high growth firms coming out of ordinary citizens in Botswana, right from the streets, and not necessarily those that are coming only from the few advantaged and in the top cities.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, actually, in my experience, you find that often people that come from disadvantaged backgrounds are very inherently entrepreneurial. They're used to solving problems. Like, they're constantly having to solve problems. And so if you can kind of connect them with the resources to solve bigger problems, it grows on from there. Okay, look, I'm very conscious of your time. We've got a lot to cover off today. Fascinating insight into Botswana. Definitely sounds like if you're looking at the African continent, Botswana is definitely one to check out. As I've mentioned before, to my mind, Africa is kind of where Asia was 20, 30 years ago. Huge growth potential, huge young working population, as opposed to the more mature markets that are all baby boomers and are going to be sort of going through difficult periods over the next 5 to 10 and contractions. Africa's really kind of the next hot spot. So fantastic insights from Francisco. Do connect with him. We'll put his LinkedIn details below if you're interested in Botswana, if you're interested in supporting the trust or any of the work he's in, or investing in some of those projects on the ground. Get in touch, and let's make it a fantastic day.